There's a cartoon where the main character can't get a license, works for pennies, lives inside a fruit, gets watched by his boss 24/7, earns Employee of the Month like his life depends on it, and has never once asked why any of this is happening to him. That cartoon has been running for 25 years, and every single piece of what I just described maps onto a real-world control system that 134 governments are building right now in 2026. In Born Again Crabs Season 3, Mr. Krabs sells SpongeBob's soul to the Flying Dutchman for 62 cents. He literally puts a price on a person's entire existence because in his economy, everything, including your humanity, has a transactional value set by whoever controls the money. Right now, China's digital yuan has 800 million wallets. The European Central Bank is legislating a digital euro. Both systems are programmable, meaning the government can freeze your funds, restrict what you buy, or expire your money on a schedule. SpongeBob's boss sold his soul for pocket change in 2003. The real world is just now building the infrastructure to do the same thing. That's not a coincidence, and it's not the only one. Because once you stop seeing Bikini Bottom as a cartoon and start seeing it as a system, everything changes. Let me walk you through it. So here's the thing about Bikini Bottom that nobody ever talks about. It's a closed city. Think about it. SpongeBob's Pineapple, the Krusty Krab, Goo Lagoon, Mrs. Puff's boating school, Jellyfish Fields. Everything he needs to live, work, shop, and hang out exists within this tiny walkable radius. He never needs to leave, and he never wants to. That's kind of the point. Because when characters do try to leave, the show punishes them for it. In Pizza Delivery Season 1, SpongeBob and Squidward step outside the boundary to deliver a pizza. What happens? They nearly die. They get stranded in a wasteland. The outside world is hostile, empty, and terrifying. Message received: stay in your zone. And it's not just that one episode. The show consistently treats life outside Bikini Bottom as dangerous, weird, or outright deadly. There's an invisible wall around this town, and nobody questions it because the inside is designed to feel like it's enough. You've got your job, your friends, your jellyfish. Why would you ever leave? Now, here's what's happening in the real world. Oxford is rolling out traffic filters that restrict where you can drive within your own city. 15-minute city designs are being debated across Europe. Critics argue these zones start as convenience and end as containment. And the thing is, Bikini Bottom is already there. It's already a 15-minute city. SpongeBob walks to work. He walks to Sandy's. He walks to Jellyfish Fields. Everything is close. Everything is accessible. And leaving is treated as insanity. You don't need a wall if people never want to leave. You just need to make the inside comfortable enough that nobody asks what's outside. That's way more effective than a fence. But a closed zone raises a question the show never asked out loud. How do you decide who gets to participate and who doesn't? Enter Mrs. Puff's boating school, which, when you actually sit with it, is one of the most unsettling institutions in this entire show. SpongeBob's boating license isn't just a driving test. It's his gateway to full participation in society. Without it, he can't legally operate a vehicle. He can't move freely. And the show makes it painfully clear across dozens of episodes that SpongeBob will never pass. He takes the test over and over and over. He fails every single time. And yet the system keeps him coming back. Mrs. Puff keeps teaching him. The institution keeps collecting his time and his effort. He's trapped in a permanent state of almost, always nearly qualified, never actually granted autonomy. Think about what that means. The system doesn't lock him out. It keeps him dependent, always needing permission from an institution that will never fully grant it. Now, here's 2026. The UK government announced a national digital ID scheme. They called it voluntary after public backlash, but the infrastructure is being built regardless. The EU is rolling out digital identity wallets by the end of the year. 19 U.S. states now have mobile driver's license programs. India has 1.3 billion people enrolled in Aadhaar with biometric data. The infrastructure that verifies your identity is the same infrastructure that can revoke it. And once your ID is digital, that revocation happens at the speed of a server request. But you can't revoke access based on nothing. You need to know what people are doing, which means you need eyes everywhere. In Spy Buddies, Season 5, Mr. Krabs hires SpongeBob and Patrick to spy on Plankton.
Your mission, if you choose to accept it, is to discover what Plankton's up to.
They go to Sandy, who loads them up with cameras, tracking devices, nose-mounted surveillance gear, and a knockout ray. And SpongeBob doesn't question any of it. He's thrilled. He treats mass surveillance like it's a fun day out with his best friend. Sound familiar? Earlier this year, Ring, the doorbell camera company owned by Amazon, ran a Super Bowl ad showing their cameras and AI scanning an entire neighborhood to find a lost puppy. Adorable, right? But people immediately pointed out that Ring is the same company that partners with law enforcement, and the system designed to find your puppy can just as easily track anyone the government wants to find. One response that went viral called it surveillance state, but make it adorable, which, if I'm being honest, could be the tagline for the entire SpongeBob franchise. But here's where it goes deeper than cameras. In the Krabby Chronicle, Season 6, Mr. Krabs starts a newspaper, not to inform the public, to control the narrative. He forces SpongeBob to fabricate stories. He prints lies. He destroys reputations. And the citizens of Bikini Bottom just believe it.
Mrs. Puff is gonna laugh her hat off when she reads this.
Boating teacher in high-speed chase!
Surveillance isn't just about watching people. It's about controlling what they see. And once you control both, what people do and what people believe, you only need one more thing: a way to reward compliance and punish resistance. SpongeBob has won Employee of the Month at the Krusty Krab every single month for years. Hundreds of consecutive wins and counting. And in the episode that shares the award's name, Season 1, we see that this isn't just a plaque on the wall. It's SpongeBob's entire identity. It's how he measures his worth. It's the reason he gets up in the morning, shows up early, stays late, never complains, never questions authority, and never pushes back against Mr. Krabs. That's a social credit score. That is exactly what it is. SpongeBob is pathologically obedient, aggressively cheerful, and endlessly productive. And the system rewards him with a picture on the wall that says, "You're a good boy." That's it. That's the whole incentive structure. Now look at Squidward. Squidward questions his employer. He's openly cynical. He organizes a labor strike in Squid on Strike Season 2, demanding fair treatment. And what happens?
Krusty Krab unfair.
SpongeBob, the perfect model citizen, undermines the strike by being too loyal to the system. The Krusty Krab ends up destroyed, and Mr. Krabs sentences both of them to work off the damages forever. The episode literally ends with their skeletons still working. The system doesn't just punish resistance, it makes resistance strengthen the system. And think about Squidward's life beyond the Krusty Krab. His art gets rejected. His neighbors torment him. The show structurally punishes him in nearly every episode for the crime of not being compliant. China's social credit system works the same way. Comply, and you get priority access to loans, travel, and housing. Resist, and you can end up on a blacklist that can block you from buying plane tickets or getting your kids into school. It's Employee of the Month on a national scale. And the terrifying part isn't the punishment. It's that the model citizens, the SpongeBobs of the world, love the system. They don't feel controlled. They feel rewarded. The system can watch you, track you, and judge you, but it can't actually do anything to you. Not with that one final piece. There is one currency in Bikini Bottom. One. Every transaction flows through a system where Mr. Krabs, the central authority, controls the money supply, sets the wages, and determines what things cost. SpongeBob can't opt out. There's no alternative economy, no bartering, no cash under the mattress. In One Krabs Trash, Season 3, Krabs manipulates the entire perceived value of an object just to extract money from SpongeBob. He manufactures scarcity and demand from nothing. That's central bank monetary policy played for laughs. And remember, this is the same boss who sold SpongeBob's soul for 62 cents. Because in his system, everything, including your humanity, has a transactional value set by whoever controls the money. Now, imagine a version of Krabs' economy where he doesn't just control the wages. He can switch your money off, because unlike cash, a central bank digital currency is programmable. A government can set expiration dates on your money so you're forced to spend it. They can restrict what you're allowed to buy. They can freeze your funds instantly. No court order, no appeal, just a switch. If your social credit score drops, your wallet gets limited. If you leave your approved zone, your transport pass gets declined. If your digital ID flags you, your financial life stops. CBDCs aren't just digital money. They're the enforcement mechanism for everything else. Without them, the digital ID is just your card. The surveillance is just footage. The social score is just a number. But with programmable currency, every other piece of the system suddenly has consequences. So let's put the whole picture together. Digital ID tells the system who you are. The zone tells it where you belong. Surveillance tells it what you're doing. The social credit score tells it how well you're behaving. And the central digital currency gives it the power to reward or punish you based on all of the above. That's not 5 separate policies. That's one system with 5 layers. Each piece looks harmless on its own. A walkable neighborhood, a convenient ID, a smart camera, a reward scheme, a digital wallet. But together, it's totalitarian tiptoe, and Bikini Bottom runs every single one of them. SpongeBob has a credential he can never fully obtain. He lives in a closed zone he never questions. He's watched constantly and celebrates it. He measures his entire self-worth by a score his employer controls. And he operates in a one-currency economy where the central authority can literally put a price on his soul. And he's the happiest character on the show. You'll own nothing and be happy. They said it like a promise. SpongeBob lives it like a lifestyle. The perfect prisoner is the one who doesn't know he's in prison. The one who loves the system that controls him. The one who shows up early, stays late, and thanks his captor for the opportunity. SpongeBob isn't a comedy. It's a warning. If this changed the way you see Bikini Bottom, hit that like button. It helps more people see this than you think. Subscribe, because we go this deep every single video, and we've got some absolute bangers coming up that you do not want to miss. Drop a comment telling me which piece of this system freaks you out the most, and share this with someone who still thinks SpongeBob is just a kid's show, because it never was.